Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt as if your body was locked in place? The stiffness in your back, the tight pull in your hips, or that resistance in your shoulders with every movement. It's easy to shrug and say, that's just part of getting older. But the truth is, stiffness isn't simply a byproduct of age. It's your body sending you a clear signal that something deeper is happening. Your joints, your muscles, and even your nervous system are quietly asking for attention. And here's the empowering news. You can absolutely do something about it. No matter if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or even beyond, you still have the ability to reclaim mobility, protect your independence, and feel lighter in your own skin. The key doesn't lie in complicated workouts or expensive equipment. Instead, it rests in simple isometric stretches, movements so gentle that anyone can do them, yet so powerful they can lubricate stiff joints, calm your nervous system, and restore the freedom of movement you thought you'd lost. Today, I'll walk you through 6 essential stretches every older adult should practice daily. And once you begin to feel the difference, I believe you'll look forward to this routine as the highlight of your day. Stretch number 1, cat-cow flow. Waking up the spine. Let's begin with the foundation of your entire body, your spine. Think of it as the central highway that connects everything, from the nerves that send signals throughout your body, to the posture that determines how you carry yourself, to even the way you breathe. Over the years, this highway often becomes congested. Hours of sitting, the weight of old injuries, and the natural wear and tear of daily life gradually rob the spine of its natural rhythm and mobility. This is exactly why the cat-cow flow is such a game changer. With each slow arch and round of the back, you awaken every vertebra from the base of your neck to the tip of your tailbone. As you move, your spinal discs absorb fresh fluid, keeping them hydrated and cushioned, while your joints are bathed in synovial fluid, the body's natural oil that allows smooth, pain-free motion. But there's another hidden benefit. When practiced with deep, steady breathing, this movement stimulates the vagus nerve, which is like the body's personal stress dial. Activating it lowers cortisol, slows the heart rate, and creates the same sense of calm many people only find in meditation. All you need to do is place yourself on your hands and knees, keeping your shoulders aligned over your wrists and your hips over your knees. As you inhale, gently arch your spine, lifting your head and tailbone toward the ceiling in what's called the cow position. As you exhale, slowly round your spine, tuck your chin, and draw your belly inward into the cat position. Flow between these two shapes for about a minute, moving in rhythm with your breath. And if getting down on the floor feels uncomfortable, there's a simple alternative. Sit tall in a chair, place your hands on your knees, and use the same breathing rhythm as you arch forward on the inhale and round back on the exhale. The benefits remain the same. I've seen countless older adults try this stretch for the first time and tell me how it changed the way their mornings feel. They stand taller, move easier, and begin the day with a calmness that carries through the hours ahead. For those living with scoliosis, or even herniated discs, this gentle flow, when practiced carefully, often becomes their safest and most effective tool for relief. So if you were to choose just one stretch to greet the day, let it be this one. Because when the spine wakes up, the rest of the body follows. Stretch number 2, calf stretch. The second heart of the body. Now that your spine feels awake, let's move to a part of the body most people overlook, the calves. At first glance, they may just seem like simple muscles at the back of your legs, but in reality, your calves act like pumps, sometimes called the second heart of the body. Each time you walk, your calves contract and push blood back upward toward your heart. This pumping action is essential for circulation, especially as we age. But here's the problem. With years of sitting, reduced activity, or even wearing shoes that limit movement, those calf muscles gradually tighten and shorten. When that happens, blood doesn't circulate as efficiently. This is why many older adults notice swelling around the ankles, painful cramps at night, or a heavy dragging sensation in their legs after a short walk. What may seem like just aging is often the direct result of calves that have lost flexibility. The calf stretch changes all of this. By simply holding the stretch for 30 to 60 seconds, you begin to unlock blood flow, restore mobility in the ankle, and take tension off the Achilles tendon. Research has shown that maintaining flexible calves doesn't just reduce leg pain, it directly lowers fall risk by improving balance and stability in your gait. Think about that. Something as simple as a daily stretch can actually help prevent dangerous falls. To practice, stand facing a wall and place your hands against it for support. Step 1 foot back, keeping the heel pressed firmly into the ground, while your front knee bends slightly. As you lean forward, you'll feel a gentle pull through the back of your lower leg. Hold it steady, breathe deeply, and notice how your leg begins to feel lighter. After 30 seconds, switch sides. And here's a tip from experience. If standing is difficult or balance feels unsteady, you can modify this by sitting in a chair, extending one leg forward, and gently pulling the toes back with a strap or even a towel. The stretch is just as effective and you stay safe while doing it. Many of the seniors I've guided through this routine were shocked at how quickly they noticed changes. Within a week or two, they reported fewer cramps waking them at night and a new sense of lightness when walking upstairs or across a parking lot. It's as though the legs suddenly regain their spring. So while it's tempting to think sore legs are just a normal part of aging, the truth is that flexible calves can make your entire lower body feel younger almost overnight. And once you start, you'll understand why I call this one not optional, but absolutely essential. Stretch number 3, butterfly stretch, freeing the hips. Now that we've awakened the spine and lightened the legs, let's move to the true center of mobility, the hips. Think of your hips as the hinges of your body. When those hinges move smoothly, everything else, from your back to your knees to your walking stride, functions better. But when the hips stiffen, which often happens after years of sitting or inactivity, the entire chain of movement begins to break down. Many older adults notice this when they struggle to rise from a chair, bend down to tie a shoe, or simply walk for longer distances without fatigue. It's not always the knees or the back at fault. It's often the hips that have quietly lost their flexibility. And that's where the butterfly stretch becomes a game changer. To begin, sit tall on the floor if you're able, and bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees gently fall outward, like the wings of a butterfly opening. As you hold your ankles or feet, you may lean slightly forward if it feels comfortable. The stretch will pull through your inner thighs, but what's happening underneath is much more powerful. You're releasing the adductors, unlocking deep hip tissues that long hours of sitting have locked away, and gently realigning the pelvis. This shift eases pressure on the lower back and improves overall posture. Science backs this up. Studies show that maintaining hip flexibility can reduce fall risk by more than 30% in older adults, while also boosting independence in daily activities. And there's another benefit many don't expect. This stretch improves circulation in the legs, helping relieve that heavy, tired feeling and even reducing discomfort from varicose veins. Now, I know sitting on the floor isn't easy for everyone. If your hips resist or your knees feel uncomfortable, try sitting on a pillow or a folded blanket to elevate your hips above your knees. This small adjustment makes the stretch gentler and far more accessible. And if the floor still doesn't feel right, you can do a modified version in a chair. Sit with your feet flat, then cross one ankle over the opposite knee and lean forward slightly. You'll feel the same release through the hip. I remember one woman in her 70s who told me she had almost given up gardening because kneeling and squatting became painful. After practicing the butterfly stretch for a few weeks, she found she could comfortably crouch down again to tend her flowers. It wasn't just about flexibility, it gave her back something she loved. So don't underestimate this movement. Once your hips begin to open, your entire body feels lighter, more stable, and more alive. And when your hips are free, everything from walking to standing tall becomes easier and more enjoyable. Stretch number 4, child's pose, the reset button. After waking up the spine, lightening the legs, and opening the hips, it's time to slow things down and give the body a chance to reset. And there's no better way to do that than with child's pose. This gentle posture is more than just a stretch. For many older adults, it feels like pressing a reset button for the entire body. By folding forward with arms extended and forehead resting on the floor, or on a cushion if that feels more comfortable. You allow the spine to gently decompress. Your hips soften, your shoulders release tension you may not have even realized you were carrying, and your breathing naturally deepens. Deepens. But here's where the hidden magic lies. Child's pose directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, what doctors often call the body's rest and digest mode. This is the opposite of the stress response. As you settle into the position, blood pressure lowers, cortisol levels decrease, and your heart rate finds a calmer rhythm. In fact, studies have shown that holding this pose for just a minute can stimulate the vagus nerve, sending a wave of calm throughout both the body and the mind. For older adults, that calming effect is priceless. It's not only about flexibility, it's about recovery. Every inhale in this pose gently massages the diaphragm and expands the lungs, improving breathing capacity. Every exhale lets go of lingering mental tension, helping you feel centered and at ease. People who practice this nightly often report better sleep and a clearer mind the next morning. Now, I understand kneeling on the floor isn't comfortable for everyone. If that's the case, there are simple modifications. You can place a pillow or rolled blanket between your thighs and calves for support, or widen your knees so the hips feel less compressed. And if getting down to the ground is too difficult, you can adapt this pose in a chair. Simply sit, fold forward, and rest your arms and forehead on a table or cushion in front of you. The benefits remain the same, and your body still receives that powerful signal to relax and restore. One gentleman I worked with in his late 60s told me that after years of high blood pressure and restless nights, adding child's pose to his evening routine helped him unwind in a way he hadn't experienced in decades. It didn't replace his medication, but it gave him something else: control over his own state of calm. So remember, child's pose isn't just about stretching. It's about giving your body and mind permission to pause, to let go, and to heal. And in a world that often feels fast and demanding, that kind of reset is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Stretch number 5, supine twist, a gift for your spine and digestion. Now that the body has softened and the nervous system has settled, let's turn to a stretch that looks deceptively simple but carries powerful benefits: the supine twist. Lying on your back may feel like rest, but when you gently draw one knee across your body and allow gravity to guide the movement, something remarkable happens. Your lower spine begins to decompress, releasing the tension that years of sitting or poor posture may have built up. Each rotation brings hydration back into the discs, helping them stay supple and cushioning your vertebrae more effectively. But the magic of the supine twist doesn't stop at the back. This gentle rotation stimulates your digestive system by increasing circulation in the abdomen. For many older adults who struggle with bloating, sluggish digestion, or discomfort after meals, this stretch becomes a quiet but powerful ally. It's not just exercise, it's support for one of the most overlooked aspects of healthy aging: gut function. At the same time, this movement engages the obliques and deep stabilizing muscles along the core. These are the very muscles that protect the spine, improve coordination, and help you stay steady on your feet. In other words, what seems like a relaxing posture is actually strengthening the foundation that keeps you balanced and upright. To practice, lie comfortably on your back and bring your right knee gently across your body toward the left side. Extend your right arm out to the side and allow your gaze to follow it if your neck feels comfortable. Hold the position for a full minute, breathing slowly and deeply before switching to the other side. The key is to relax into the twist and let gravity do the work. There should be no forcing, only release. And if your lower back or knees feel tight, try placing a pillow between your knees or under the bent leg for support. This small adjustment makes the pose safer and more comfortable while still delivering all the benefits. I've heard countless stories from seniors who were surprised at how quickly this simple stretch changed the way they felt. One woman in her early 70s told me she not only slept better after adding this to her nightly routine, but also noticed less bloating after dinner. Another man in his 60s said his morning back stiffness was cut in half once he made the supine twist a daily ritual. Even more impressive, this stretch, when held for just 1 minute per side, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural calm mode. The result is a double benefit. You reduce stress while also freeing the spine and supporting digestion. So don't underestimate the power of lying down and twisting. It's not laziness. It's a profound act of care for your back, your core, and your gut. And when those three areas work in harmony, your whole body moves through the day with greater ease and balance. Stretch number 6, wall angels, unlocking the shoulders. As we've cared for the spine, the calves, the hips, the nervous system, and the digestive health, there's still one area we can't forget, the shoulders. For many older adults, this is where years of hunching forward, hours at the computer, and the natural weakening of postural muscles show up first. Rounded shoulders don't just affect appearance, they compress the chest, limit breathing, and make everyday tasks like reaching into a cupboard or putting on a jacket more difficult. That's why the wall angel stretch is such a powerful addition. It looks simple, but it delivers a transformation that many seniors describe as opening the chest to life again. Here's how it works. Stand with your back gently resting against a wall and keep your feet a few inches forward so you feel stable. Press your lower back lightly toward the wall without straining. Then, lift your arms into a goalpost shape with elbows bent at 90 degrees. Slowly slide your arms upward toward the ceiling, then glide them back down, just like you're making snow angels, but against the wall. This movement does more than stretch. It actively retrains your upper back and postural muscles, encouraging the shoulders to roll back and down where they belong. As your chest opens, breathing becomes deeper and easier. Over time, this stretch improves shoulder mobility, reduces neck stiffness, and restores the ability to move your arms overhead without strain. And for those who find standing challenging, the same movement can be done seated in a chair. What matters isn't how high your arms go, but the gentle rhythm of sliding upward and downward while keeping your body aligned. One man I worked with in his late 60s confessed that he had stopped playing catch with his grandson because lifting his arms overhead had become painful. After a few weeks of wall angels, he noticed he could reach higher without discomfort. The joy on his face as he shared that story said it all. This wasn't just about shoulders. It was about reconnecting with family and the activities he loved. So don't dismiss this as just a posture exercise. Wall angels are your reminder that even small, controlled movements can unlock years of tension. They give you back the proud, upright stance that signals confidence, independence, and vitality. And with every repetition, you're telling your body that it's never too late to stand tall again. Now that you've learned each of the 6 stretches, let's bring them together into one simple daily routine. You don't need hours at the gym, expensive equipment, or complicated programs. All it takes is about 12 minutes a day, right in the comfort of your own home. Here's how it flows. Begin with the cat-cow movement for 1 full minute, gently waking up the spine and preparing the body for motion. From there, ease into the butterfly stretch for another minute, freeing the hips and taking pressure off the lower back. Then roll onto the floor and move into the supine twist, holding 1 minute per side to restore balance in the spine and stimulate digestion. Next, stand tall and stretch your calves for 30 seconds on each leg, pumping blood upward and keeping your steps light. After that, settle into child's pose for 1 to 2 minutes, letting your body and nervous system fully relax. Finally, rise to the wall and complete a series of wall angels for 1 to 2 minutes, opening the shoulders, improving posture, and filling your lungs with fresh, easy breath. And that's it. Just 12 minutes that can transform the way you feel, move, and even think. Research has shown that when older adults commit to daily mobility routines like this, balance, flexibility, and independence improve in as little as 4 weeks. But beyond the science, there's something more powerful. You begin to feel confident in your own body again. I've seen it happen countless times. Someone in their 70s who thought they were too stiff to change discovers they can get up from a chair without effort. A grandmother who had stopped gardening finds she can crouch down to tend her flowers again. A retired veteran who struggled with restless nights finally sleeps more deeply after ending the day with child's pose and a supine twist. These are not small victories, they are life-changing moments, and they are available to you too. So now comes the choice. Will you let stiffness quietly steal your independence? Or will you take it back, one breath, one stretch, one day at a time? Start tonight. Try just 1 or 2 stretches. Notice how your body responds. Then tomorrow, add another. Before you know it, this routine won't feel like work. It will feel like freedom. If you found this guide helpful, share it with someone you love, a parent, a friend, a neighbor, because no one is too old to feel strong, light, and free again. And don't forget to tell me in the comments which stretch felt best for you. Your story might be the very encouragement another person needs to start moving again. Remember, aging isn't about losing ability. It's about choosing to keep moving. And with 12 minutes a day, your body still has so much more to give.